Hi VC, it's been some time since I made a video, so I thought I'd try and get through a load of stuff that I've bought over the past few months, what with Record Store Day and everything. I've been showing this on Facebook. Currently playing is a pickup I found, nice Capital version of Flash, out of our hands. Quite a nice clean copy with the inner as well, so very pleased to have that one. So without further ado, I'm just going to sort of quickly go through what I've been picking up, showing the odd piece of vinyl, where it's coloured vinyl, whatever. So first off, the very nice Hawkwind RSD release on, and I have to show it, the most supreme tangerine coloured vinyl. I absolutely adore this album, and to find it, you know, re-released on RSD, really nice copy, very pleased to have that. Next up, found a copy of this lurking in the cheapy bins, Dream Harder, Waterboys, picture of Glastonbury tour on the back, which is just down the road from where I live. Glastonbury song on here is absolutely fantastic. It's a great album, that, very rocky, some great people on it, really good album, very pleased to have that. Nice copy of John Martin's The Tumbler. This is an 80s copy, but still quite difficult to pick up, and so pleased to have that for my John Martin collection. Found a German rock heavies Van de Graaff generator. Had to pick that up. It's got a sort of shimmery, sort of goldy sleeve, sort of like a foil sleeve. Back's falling off a little bit, and that's on Large Hatter Charisma, so quite pleased to have that. It's obviously a compilation. Whoops, can't get it back in. It's got Lizard Play, The Habit of the Broken Heart, Lemmings, Place to Survive, and La Rosa. Quite a strange mix, but you know, a really good addition to my Van de Graaff collection. Aha! My Squelchy Life, the missing Eno album that was released for Record Store Day. Not sure whether this had coloured vinyl, can't remember. No, it's black vinyl, but a nice double album. A great album, actually. Eno didn't release this when it first came out because the label wanted, this has come out on Opal now, but the label originally wanted to delay its release, and Eno wasn't happy with that because he said it wouldn't reflect what he was currently doing at the time. But I'm fighting with this. So he basically shelved it. Next, an RSD release, Johnny Thunder and the Heartbreakers, Like a Motherfucker, LAMF. Really great album, this. I had the original, God knows what happened to that. Bought it the day it was released, always loved it. Born to Loose, One Track Mind, Chinese Rocks, just a great album. And, oh, I think that's a funny vinyl, let's have a look. Very pleased to pick that up, yeah, on sort of pink and black splatter vinyl. Got that quite cheap, actually, just lurking in the bins a couple of days after Record Store Day, and I thought, right, I'm having that. And it really does sound good. It wasn't originally a gatefold sleeve, but also got this Eternal Youth. This is the Saints Eternally Yours album. Came out in '78, I think, on Harvest. This Perfect Day was the single I had. Never had the album, but just thought, oh, I've got to get that, and look at it on Harvest label, beautiful translucent green. So very pleased to have that, and it sounds amazing. Like I say, I never had the album. I had This Perfect Day, which is, I think, the only really good, really what I would call hit single they had in the '70s here. Although I could be wrong, but I was certainly well into my punk, and I don't remember anything else. Everyone's shown this. I'm not going to get it out. It's sort of multi-splatter grey vinyl. Genesis, the Gods Genesis album. It's called the band's called the Gods. It's got It's got the original key, Ken Hensley from Uriah Heep on it. It's okay. I mean, it's sort of early prog. It'll do. Picked up this really nice Mojo release of Physical Graffiti, and it was a special limited edition. Can't remember, 1,000 copies or something. But they've done a really good job with it. I'll just show you because it really is worth seeing. So it's basically other people's versions of Physical Graffiti tracks. It's in a lovely sort of looks like Earl's Court. Look, and you've got the slots in it, just like the original. Although that wasn't Earl's Court. And I'll just show you one of the albums. They've got really nice labels they've stuck on these, which really clever. So and there's a poster in there signed by Jimmy Page. So really pleased to have that. Ordered it online for about 20 quid with the magazine. And what do you get? New issue of Mojo magazine, double LP inside. Collector's Jimmy Page signature cover on the magazine. It's called Physical Graffiti Redrawn. So a nice find. Really pleased to have that. I love the band Audience. So I certainly love the House on the Hill album, and I've got this on Chrysalis. It's scratched to hell, but I found this sort of American release, which I'm really pleased to have. It's an original US release, but it's on. Hold on. Once again, it's shot, but it's on the Elektra label, which I really like. So I was very pleased to get that, and it sounds fantastic. Much better quality than the UK release at the time. I've got the original UK, as I say. Paid a lot of money for it, and it was scratched to hell, so not very happy with that. Picked up one of my favourite Hawkwind albums, the Culvert album, basically. Hawk Lords, you know, is it Hawkwind, isn't it? Well, it is for all intents and purposes. And it's on double album, lovely splatter purple. This is quite easy to find actually in the wild, but this is a double, and very pleased to have this. Record Store Day release again, and yeah, really nice, really nice. What's it got? I think it might have some extra stuff on it, but anyway, very pleased to have that. It's the quality of it is just stunning. It's certainly not a rush release for Record Store Day. Of course, got the white vinyl Bowie 66 Record Store Day release. Well, I would, wouldn't I? And just to top off Record Store Day, I was 7 minutes in. Got clearly had to have the Robert Plant Sensational Space Shifters 10-inch live, Turn It Up, R. Baden, Poor Howard, and Whole Lot of Love medley. 22 quid for 3 tracks. Unbelievable. Expensive price, but you know, if you're a Led Zepp fan, it's a must-have. Really nice retro labels like the Lions Raw. This is called More Raw. 140 gram audiophile vinyl. Interesting. 140. I don't know why it's 140. Probably run out. Managed to get the second of the Holger Chutzkai release, 10-inch releases, double 10-inch releases for Record Store Day. Got this one cheap because there was some slight damage in the corner of there, but it's basically black 10 inches with one track in various different guises. It's okay, but not as good as the other one I got, which was the 11 Years in a Space. Much better album. Trifold, double 10-inch again with A, B, C, and D. Black vinyl, but very nice. Really pleased to have those two. Right, I was out mooching around and got this for 8 quid. It's a double of it's a Back on Black rock classic, double of Barclay James Harvest once again. Just black vinyl, really nice release. And this was their, I think this was an early compilation. This is obviously the reissue. It's got She Said on it, Song for the Dying, Galadriel, Mockingbird. Just such a great album actually, and very pleased to find that so cheap. It's a bit noisy. Some of these Back on Black are a bit noisy. A couple of people have shown this on the Vinyl Community Facebook page. I know Derek Higgins is a massive fan. Well, so am I. Mew, this is the new one. Plus minus 180 gram vinyl, includes CD, and it certainly does. You get the CD, which is better than the download because you can rip it at whatever quality you want. So it's got really nice labels. It's a double, and it's sort of like, it's a cross between Yes and I think Sigur Rós because that's what it sounds like to me. But it's a great album, really enjoying that. Spun it a couple of times. I should probably spin that when I'm sort of going up and down to London each week, because I've ripped it to my iPhone. This is a great album. This is a real classic prog stroke metal album. The Neil Morse Band, The Grand Experiment. It's called The Grand Experiment because they were unrehearsed, just went into the studio and knocked this out in about 10 days. It's got a couple of his religious cronies on here. Guy who plays bass, Randy George, and they're all thanking God and all that for being here. But this is not a religious album. I mean, some of the lyrics might be harking on about religion, but it's not down your throat, and the actual musicianship on this is just stunning. Mike Portnoy's on here, so let me just read out who's on here. So Neil Morse, obviously, keyboards, guitar, great vocals. Eric Gillett, guitar and vocals, great guitar playing. I don't know where Eric's from, I'll have to look that up because I've not come across him before. Bill Hubauer, keyboards, clarinet and vocals. Randy George, bass pedals and bodhran. And Mark Portnoy, drums and vocals. And it's a great release. It wasn't expensive. It has a CD. In fact, it's got 2 CDs because it's got a bonus CD in there with New Jerusalem on it, Doomsday Destiny, MacArthur Park, believe it or not, The Creation and Reunion, a couple of live tracks at the end there. But I can't recommend this album enough. If you like prog, you know, and sort of can't find any new prog, that is a stunning album. In the same rack, I saw this. Never seen it on vinyl, had it the day it came out on CD. Real return to form for Buckingham. He's just a bloody genius, but he does doodle and noddle around on some of his solo work, a bit like Tusk. But this is a stunning album. It's called Seeds We Sow. This is on Back on Black Rock Classics. I mean, they were basically selling off a load of Back on Black stuff. But, you know, I've never seen this before, and it sounds absolutely bloody marvellous, and it's on, that looks a bit pink, but it's actually bright red see-through vinyl. Absolutely lovely. They never put your CDs in these, which really pisses me off, or at least a download card. I wish they would. And there's the other one, also on Translucent Red, but it really is a good album, can't recommend it enough. That's the Way That Love Goes, Stars Are Crazy, When She Comes Down. I wouldn't say it's a rock classic, you know, Back on Black rock classic, but it's a damn good album. And played it to death on CD, so always sounds better on vinyl, of course. So I was walking back through the rain with the family. We'd been out for lunch last weekend in Bristol, and on the docks there's a guy selling vinyl, and I had a quick look at it. It all looked crappy, and on the way back I thought I'll have a better look, and I got this for a couple of quid. This is the original James Taylor album, and it's a bit shot, the actual album cover, but the vinyl is immaculate. And this is one of and I've kept the inner sleeve. Normally I replace these, but it's an original Apple inner sleeve. Talks about Apple, and it's on, of course, the wonderful Beatles Apple label, and it's Sapcore 3. I think this is the first album that came out on Apple that wasn't anything Beatles, so very pleased to have that. And you know, the cover's a little shot, but the actual album sounds amazing. So I'm really happy to have that. Right, I'm just going to music's finished now, but that doesn't matter. Just show you the last couple of albums. I've got loads more albums in my rack there that I need to get out and do another one, but this will do. I'm already at 15 minutes, so quick look at this. This is one of John Martyn's 80s albums called Piece by Piece, but really nice copy. Got the shiny in it, and it was only £5, I think. This, and it's got the glossy inner, but the outer's sort of matte, except for the spot gloss on there. It's a great album, actually. I really like it. Produced by John Martyn. Well, not always a good thing to produce your own records because you don't know when to say stop. But on the really nice sort of 80s Island label, in a Black Island sleeve. So all original there. ILPS 9057, I think, is the number of this one. And very pleased to have that. Who plays on it? So Foster Patterson keyboards, Alan Thompson fretless bass, Danny Cummings percussion, Colin Tully sax. This is a really nice, you know, typical John Martyn release. Same place, I found a copy of On Every Street, Dire Straits. Loved this when it came out on CD. Never knew it was released on vinyl. So to find this really cheap, very pleased to have it. It's on Vertigo, and it sounds amazing because it was obviously recorded for CD, but really sounds great quality. And it's got some great tracks on. Let's not deny it. Calling Elvis, On Every Street. When It Comes Down to You is a fabulous. I mean, Heavy Fuel. You forget how good, you get really sort of carried away by the fact these albums were so big when they came out. And you look at them, and it's like Private Dancer by Tina Turner. I look at that and think, oh, how boring. But when you play it, they're absolutely brilliant. And it's a real shame that, you know, we don't play them more often, just get bored with it. And everyone sort of poo-poos it because it's successful. But it's a great album. Found a copy of Gary Moore's original initial solo album. This is an original one. It's got Parisian Walkways on here, Back on the Streets. What else? That's about one. Oh, Don't Believe a Word's on here as well, which is a great version. It's on MCA. And picked this up for a song. It really wasn't expensive by any means, and I was looking for it, and here it is. Great. Really pleased to have it. It's got Brian Downey on here. So it's like a sort of lost Thin Lizzy album, really. But it sounds great, even though it's on very thin vinyl. And last but not least, I found a copy of Santana Welcome. It's original with the embossed welcome on the front. Had this when it came out, and then sort of, I don't know, it went with all my albums, but it just sort of came out quietly, this album. And second to Caravanserai for me. It's got the original inner sleeve, like a newspaper advertising all the CBS. But my favourite Santana is Caravanserai, and this is my second favourite, Welcome. It's got really one of the first albums to have what I call a vanity label. And it's in great condition. And it's just another beautiful, laid back Santana album. Really nothing showy, just great music, great band, and you know, Carlos just is very quiet on here, just does what he does, and it's just fabulous. So anyway, that's it for me. So another video. It's just under 20 minutes. I've got another, I don't know, 12 inches of records over there, which I will show at some point. What have I got sticking out there? Oh, Jackson Browne's new one. That's really worth listening to. Oh, and just before I go, I picked up this because I had to. Van der Graaf live at the BBC after the flood. I hate the packaging actually, but it sounds bloody good. It's got some great stuff on here. Afterwards, Necromancer Darkness, After the Flood, Manurg, Theme 1, Vision, Darkness, Manurg again, Killer. Refugees, Scorched Earth again, Sleepwalkers, Still Life, La Rosa, When She Comes, Mask, Cat's Eye, Yellow Fever, Sphinx in the Face, and fragments of A Plague of Lighthouse Keepers. I mean, these are all BBC live sessions, some with John Peel and some other just general. So the early stuff, people you were going to, the very first track sounds a bit crap, but the rest of it is really, really good, and very pleased to have that. I wish it was on vinyl, but you know, they keep putting this stuff out, and it's you know, me and Van der Graaf have to have everything they do. So everything I see that I haven't got, slightly different versions of what I have got, I have to pick up. So sad but true. So there we go. There's my vinyl pickups for the last few months, and there's plenty more to go through. I can see a whole 2 racks of unfiled stuff. So I better go now. Over and out. See ya.